What's up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys episode 7 of my MLB 17 The Show Legends Fantasy Draft franchise. In today's episode, we'll be going up against the New York Yankees. Right there, I showed you guys a quick little look at the actual standings. We're about 2 games ahead of them right now, so I intended on playing them. Try to maintain control of this AL, I think it's the AL East division currently. On the mound for us, we'll have Jack McDowell. On the mound for the Yankees, they'll have Tyler Skaggs. Here's a quick little look at our lineup. Obviously, nothing really much has changed, but I really want you guys to focus more on the Yankees lineup when they do happen to come up, because the Yankees do have a very, very talented team. Now, I want to say, as we're scrolling through this team, I mean, Joe Morgan, Luis Gonzalez, Bryce Harper, Jose Abreu, Jung-Ho Kang, Adrian Beltre, Chris Carter. I mean, this team's talented. It's without a doubt got some skills on it, but not only just that, but they had like 2 top-notch pitchers in their pitching rotation as well. So they were a very, very talented team. And actually, if we're doing the math right here, it looks like we're about 3.5 games ahead. Truthfully, I wasn't even able to look that closely in the standings itself. I know I worked through that little section fairly quickly, but we're about 3.5 games ahead right now. We got a 3-game series ahead of us. This is game 1 of that series, and we have a pretty good record on the season. So I'm pretty sure, regardless of this game, even if we did happen to drop into second in our division, by the time the end of the season rolled around, we are still looking pretty good to maintain a playoff spot in this season. That's one benefit to this Legends draft is I did pretty good on this draft, and I got some guys who really stepped up for me. For example, Rod Carew really stepped up for me. That guy was like an 83, 84 overall when we got him. He's batting close to 390 on the season, about 40 to 50 percentage points higher than everybody else in the MLB. So a few guys here and there that are really doing a great job. Plus Ralph Kiner and Ken Griffey Jr., I believe, are still running first and second for that MVP award currently. However, right there you see they do get out back to back, so we're not really able to get anything going here in the top of the first inning. But moving on to the bottom of the first, we are going to be going up real quick against the top 3 in their lineup with Jack McDowell obviously on the mound. First batter of the game, I believe it was Joe Morgan, right? Yeah, we're going to get him out there with a nice little throw over to first. Now, I'm starting to believe we may have played this Yankees team before. But then again, I don't fully believe that we have. That Joe Morgan seemed familiar, but I don't know if we played him exactly. Regardless, though, we strike out the next batter. And then with this guy, I believe it is their other legend. I'm blanking on his name right now, but we're going to strike him out on a low inside changeup. So now we're coming back here on the offensive end. We're moving on a few innings later. I believe this is actually the next inning. This top of the second inning. Anyway, so I wanted to say is based off what you guys can probably see in the title, this video and actually this game actually ends up being very, very interesting. If you pay attention all the way to the end, things do get really intense. Now, I tend to have games here and there where I'll win by 12 runs, or I'll lose by 3, or lose by 4. And baseball is like that, you know. Baseball is not always going to be a 1-run game and a 2-run game and things of that nature. But this game does end up being like that. Spoiler alert. I figure I might as well tell you guys now, because you'll probably come around to figuring that out regardless as the time of this episode moves along. But I do have a genuinely more excited time posting videos like this, where I know things are going to be a little bit more interesting coming down to the wire, because truthfully, like I said, baseball is just one of those games where you may not have an opportunity to have a close game like that every single time. Now, of course, I wouldn't mind winning by 10 to 12 runs every single game, but that's just not realistic. And truthfully, it would probably lose its level of entertainment for you guys within a short period of time as well, because if I'm just crushing teams every single time, it doesn't really add a whole lot of competition or variety, you know what I mean? So regardless of any of that, we now have runners on first and second with Ralph Kiner up to bat trying to drive some home. However, Ralph Kiner is going to maintain this relatively subpar performance that he's been keeping up with so far. This game is going to pop out here to the first baseman. So now first and second with 2 outs, I believe, and that's Dante Bichette. I know somebody put in the comments what this dude's actual pronunciation for his name is. Totally messed that up again, I feel like. But regardless, fly ball center field will get us out of that inning without scoring any runs. So now on the defensive side of things, we try to throw out the runner here on second base, and we had a pretty phenomenal throw from, I believe that's Ralph Kiner out there in right field. But no such luck on actually throwing him out at home, or throwing him out at second, and now we're going to try to throw him out at home. However, he's not going to roll around third. He's not even going to attempt going to home, as now runners on first and third with 2 outs. So this is actually a fully 2-out rally. Then right here, Bryce Harper's going to destroy one into the gap. I thought for sure our left fielder, Ken Griffey Sr., is going to be able to track that one down, but just maybe one speed too slow to be able to track that one down. But luckily that'll be a ground roll double, moving the runners second and third. We strike out the next batter, and there we go. It's only going to be a 1-run game, and it will actually be a tie game, as Pedro Alvarez will come to bat and crack a ball into about the second deck of that right field wall. Now, that's the one great thing. If you remember, I believe just a couple of episodes ago, Pedro Alvarez came out and came loose. Saying that he came out might be a weird thing to say. He went crazy, is what I'm trying to say. And he got 3 home runs and a ridiculous amount of RBIs. And he played a great game. So right there, obviously he's trying to continue that pace. And now he's one of the lower guys in our lineup. So moving on a little bit later into the game, we now have Rod Carew up to bat. And he is going to lead off the inning for us. And he's also our leadoff hitter. So it's always a great situation when an inning rolls around and you have the top of your lineup coming up to bat. And we're obviously going to try to capitalize on that. As you see, Rod Carew is going to get a single. Now, you see a nice little shot there in the shallow left center field by Ken Griffey Sr. We'll get down to put us at second and third with the man of the hour, Ken Griffey Jr. come up to bat. However, he's not going to put a great swing on the ball, but I mean, a phenomenal play by the shortstop is not something I can complain about. A great throw as well to get Ken Griffey Jr. out at first, but regardless, we will get the runner on third to score. And then Ralph Kiner is going to kind of break out of that slump he's had at the beginning of this game. And even the last couple of episodes, I think he's been slumping a little bit. And we're going to get a nice little, well, I guess you could say single, because he does end up getting thrown out a second to end the inning. But regardless, we do actually end up getting 2 runs in that inning to put us up 3-1. Now, back on the defensive end, however, we do have to maintain this 2-run lead. It's not the hugest lead. McDowell's only got a few more innings left in there, maybe only an inning or 2. If you look closely at his pitch count, it really is pretty high up there. He's been having to work out of a few counts from the Yankees lineup. And it does force him out of the game relatively early. I believe by the end of this game, he pitched about 7 2/3 innings or so, which is really not a bad performance. About 7 innings, I think he pitched, and that's nothing to complain about. But you know, I always like having those 8 inning, 9 inning games with my starting pitcher. But regardless, you do see that they do end up getting 1 run, so we are going to remain only up 3-2. And obviously, they're going to pursue to get 1 more run. If you look closely, it is now in the bottom of the 9th, and this is where things get interesting. We're only up 3-2, and we have our setup man in. So I was going to move our closer in, but this guy was doing great. He pitched 1 inning before, did phenomenal, but after giving up runners on first and second, I decided it's time to put in the closer. So he's going to come in, and this guy's going to give us a sac bunt. I believe this is Adrian Beltre. We're going to throw it on to first, and it's now runners on second and third with only 1 out. So with an 0-2 count, our closer is going to strike out the next batter with a slider. We need to prevent a hit to maintain a win in this game. 1 hit could throw the game away, but our closer is not going to allow that to happen, as he's going to strike out the next batter with a high inside fastball. And we will walk out of here with a 3-2 victory, holding on to the skin of our teeth. And I love it, guys. I love it. I love games like this. It was very much, it was a very fun game to play, actually. I was very nervous while going to that 9th inning, especially when we put our closer in. I thought for sure we're going to blow that game. But luckily, 2 great strikeouts from our closer is going to get us walking out of there with a win. So, if you guys enjoyed, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of the series and what I could do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you haven't already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.